Hi guys, this yummy dessert screams fall. We are making an apple pecan tart, a French apple pecan tart. So it's gonna be a little bit different. Right now, I've got apples in front of me. I peel these with the Pampered Chef Cora peeler, and I did 4.5 apples, so I've got quite a bit. When I peel my apples, I always make sure I put lemon juice on top, because if you don't, you're gonna wind up having some brown apples. So I put lemon juice on top. I'm going to go ahead and put a half of a tablespoon of cinnamon in here. So we're gonna sprinkle that in, and I'm gonna use 1/3 of a cup of white sugar. Now, I've never really tried it with brown, but I'll bet brown would definitely give you a different taste. We're gonna get all of that out. We're gonna go ahead and toss it. My hands are clean. Before I started this video, I took a springform pan and I put a little oil in it. And when I bake with the springform pan and a little oil, I always put it on a sheet pan, because there's never a time that I've used a springform pan that we've had it not leak. So I always want, and this one's brand new, so I always want to make sure that I've got a springform pan on a sheet pan, because I do not want my oven to get all messed up. Even though it's a self-cleaning, it will smoke up the house. I've got my oven preheating right now on 450 degrees. There'll be a lapse in, after it goes in for about 10 minutes, after this whole thing goes in for about 10 minutes, I'll turn it down and let it cook at 400 for a little bit longer. But I wanted to show you how we did this. Now we're gonna go ahead and toss in a heaping 1/2 cup. So I really want you to, it's probably about 3/4 of a cup of pecans. I'm using the whole pecans. I like the whole pecans in there. I wanna make sure I get it all mixed up. So anyway, this is ready to go. My pan is ready to go. I'll move all of this stuff. And then we're gonna start over here. We're gonna use my hands real quickly. We're gonna start on the crust. The crust is very simple, and all we're gonna do is use the Cuisinart food processor for this. You can use a mixer or whatever you wanna do. I've softened a stick of butter, or if you wanna say a 1/2 cup of butter. And I've got 1/3 cup of sugar. And then I've got a 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract. If I can get it open, there you go. All right, 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract. And I'll bet a little whiskey bourbon would taste good in this too. You're gonna top this off later on with whipped cream, and we'll do that later. We're gonna go ahead and process this. There it goes. Go ahead and scrape down the sides of the bowl, because I see some of it did not get mixed in. Probably the butter wasn't soft enough. All right, so we'll go ahead and do that again. Beautiful. Now I've got 1 cup of flour, and we're gonna go ahead and use that. And we're not gonna blend it too long, because I don't want it to be too tough. We're just gonna make sure the ingredients are all incorporated. This back one, I love this food processor. There we go. Almost done. I'm gonna give it a little scrape, make sure we get all those ingredients off the side. That's very important, very important. We're gonna go ahead now. It's crumbly. It's not a doughy type of crust. Go. Almost there. A little bit more. One more scrape down. It tends to collect around the sides and tends to collect around the blade. Now this one did not come with like a little dough blade, which my other food processor by a different maker did, and that was nice. I might have to suggest it. All right, perfect. So, this is what it looks like. We're gonna take it over and make sure we get it scraped down to the corners. We're gonna drop it in here, just like that. Oh, those apples are smelling good. And this is not hard, this is pretty easy. You know, I've told you before, I'm not really a baker, but this is pretty foolproof. Okay. And in a minute, after I get this pressed in into the springform pan, I'm going to turn this off so I can wash this, because I'm going to use this again instead of taking out my big mixer, even though I have a hand mixer. So we'll put this on the side. And we're going to take this and press it into the bottom of this pan, just like that. And we're going to get it all the way over to the side. We're going to make sure the whole area, the surface area, is covered. And we're going to come slightly, about a 1/4 inch up the side of there we go. There you go. Up the side of the springform pan. So get it all pressed in. One of the reasons why I used a little oil is because sometimes it will stick, especially I had an older pan and it always stuck. So this one's a nice brand new pan and purportedly non-stick. So, but the other pan served me well, served me for about 25 years. So this one, like I said, this one's new. And there we go. So it doesn't have to be perfect because nobody's going to see this really, because everything's going to cover it. And so I'm going to show you right now what it looks like. We've got the whole bottom covered. So this is our crust right there. So we're going to turn the video off right now and then we'll be back. Sorry, I did forget to tell you we're chilling it while we get everything else ready. So I'll be right back. Now we're getting to the part that makes it so good. This is the cream part. And what we're going to do is take this block of cream cheese and I'm going to split it up like this and put it here into my food processor. And it's softened. So we're going to zip it in the food processor for a second. A little bit more than a second. There we go. And the spatula. Love these. These are great. This is Louis Sonoma. All right, we're going to stop this. And now we're going to add, it is a 1/4 cup sugar. Now remember, we have sugar already in the apples. We have sugar in the crust. And so we want to overdo it. We're going to add that 1/4 cup sugar. We're going to add another 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract. And let's get this mixed up. I always like to get that sugar mixed up really well in there. Don't want any granules of sugar that haven't been mixed up with the gotta get the side. So we always scrape down the side, make sure we get it all in there. And we're gonna add, in a second, 1 egg. Now let my egg come to room temperature. Okay, let's go ahead and do this. Put that egg in there, and while it's blending, we are going to get the crust up. Yeah, it didn't chill for that long, but it chilled long enough. You could always do a thicker cream portion by going in and just maybe doubling the recipe. I like it creamy, but I'm going to do the basic recipe on this. All right, I'm going to show you what it looks like. That's it right there. We're going to go ahead and pour it into the springform pan. As I said, I always like mine a little creamier, but This will be so nice. And we're gonna serve it probably with ice cream or whipped cream with maybe a little bourbon sauce, something like that tonight. I haven't decided. So let me get that spread out. All right. Good, let's get the rest of this goodness out of here. We do not want to waste the goodness. Sort of reminds me a little bit of a cheesecake, but there's not enough of it to really, enough of the filling to really make it into a cheesecake. Okay. Let's get the rest of this off the spatula. Now, here's the part. You take all of this goodness and you're going to spread it out over the top of that mixture. There we go. And we are going to cook this in the oven, bake it in the oven, for 10 minutes on 450 degrees. And then I will turn the oven down after 10 minutes and we'll put it on 400 and then we'll bake it for another 20 to 25 minutes. So let me show you here. Let me wash my hands really quickly. Let me show you what it looks like before going into the oven. And there it is. We're gonna put it on this springform pan and it is ready to go in. So we'll see you in a little while.